Dogmatism divides, number one. Number two, dogmatism blinds. John the Baptist came into the land of Israel. He's baptizing. The prostitutes and the tax collectors and all the sinners are coming to him. They're repenting of their sins. They're being baptized. The Pharisees and the teachers of the law, they sent representatives. And they came with their dogmatic, worked out doctrines. And they said to John, are you Elijah? John says, no, I'm not Elijah. I said, okay, not Elijah. Are you the prophet, meaning the Messiah? He said, no, I'm not the Messiah. I said, okay. And they go to him, all right, well, not Elijah, not the prophet. Why are you baptizing? This is our doctrine, and you don't fit. Why are you baptizing? Meanwhile, people are repenting, right? Dogmatism blinds. And John himself actually almost fell into the same trap as well. I don't think for him it was dogmatism so much. I think for him it was just discouragement. But it seems like he had this idea that Jesus would destroy the Romans, right? And he's languishing in jail, and he sends his disciples to Jesus, and he says, "Go ask him, is he the one, or should we look for another one?" And Jesus, what did he do? He did loads and loads of miracles, right, in the presence of John's disciples. And then he tells John's disciples, go back to him, tell him everything that you saw, and then give him this message. Blessed is he who is not offended because of me. Blessed is he who is not offended because of me. Basically what Jesus is saying, John, I'm doing something that doesn't fit what you think I should be doing. Don't be offended. Don't turn away. Don't weaken in your faith because I don't fit your doctrinal views. Now let's bring it home to us. Let's imagine God sent someone here to us, and God powerfully and convincingly showed us that there is no rapture. We go through the tribulation. Would you be offended? Right? God says you shouldn't be offended. If that's what God is going to do, that's what God is going to do. You say, humbly, I was wrong. Have a little bit of a cry, but blessed be the name of the Lord. He's going to do what he's going to do. Right? What about the doctrines that are so strong in your heart? There are doctrines, what I would call our bosom doctrines. Right? Like they're doctrines that you hear and you think of someone, right? If God says you're wrong, are you going to be offended? You've held this doctrine and God says you're wrong. Would you be offended? If God sends, he doesn't send a great pastor, a great theologian, he sends a baby to show you that you're wrong. He sends a new believer who's still drinking the milk, but he's read the Bible and he said, no, do you know what? I don't think you're right. Would you be offended? Or are you going to say, I'm wrong, I need to revise my thinking, I need to reread the Bible and get straight? Or are you going to turn around and say, what do you know? I've been a Christian 35 years. Blessed is he who is not offended because of me. God is God, and we are ants.